What's going on? We're back again. Another episode of Golf Cart Garage. So we already got some people coming in the room here. What's up, Kurt? Gene Hansen? Let's see. Yep, we'll have another Let's See segment today. What's up, fellow ferrets? Fellas. What's up, Craig? Let me check over here, make sure Facebook is rolling. It is. Everything's looking good. Looks like our connection is fine. All right, we are here on a Thursday live. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Let me run the social media links. If you would like to follow us on any other platform, they're running right now. TikTok and Instagram. We actually do have a following there too. The following is growing all the time. So it is doing good. Everything is picking up. This is actually episode 134. Isn't that crazy? 134. It's July the 13th, Thursday now. I can't believe it's already halfway through July. The time this year has flown by. And it is hot where I'm at right now. It's pretty hot. I mowed yesterday and it was pretty hot mowing. Okay, we come here every week, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we talk about golf carts. We talk about golf cart related issues. If you would like to schedule a phone call with me to talk about your golf cart related issue, click the link in the description. That'll take you to the scheduling page. Golf Cart Garage offers a service called Gearheads On Demand. I'm a big part of that service, and I will call you and talk to you personally and see if I can help you out, or see if I can help you diagnose what your issue is with your golf cart. So if you're interested in that, click that link in the description. Okay. We will get started with the regular questions. I'm sure that we'll have some live questions also after we get rolling. But let's get started with the regular questions. Let's see. Mary Austin. How you doing, Mary? Welcome to the chat room. Thank you for stopping by, first of all. Let's see, I have recently switched from a bar type state of charge meter to a digital one, 36 volt car. At charge, do I need to start worrying about how much juice I have left? Mary, I've said it on here before. I'm not a big fan of any of those kind of dash meters, but if you had one that actually showed numbers, I mean, that would be, and they do make them. I've got one on one of my cars back here. If they actually show numbers, I just don't like the graphs, or the bars, or even the analog with the needle, because people tend to pay attention to those too much, and they're notoriously inaccurate. What I would do, the way that I like to do it is if you know your car is fully charged, then don't worry about it. And then when you get through with your car for the day, charge it up. And then the next day it'll be ready to go. You should not be able to run your batteries down in one day. If you do, if you can, you either have an issue with your batteries, it may be time to get a new set of batteries, or you are driving an extreme amount of distance. Because, it shows numbers. Okay, well that's good. That's good. If it shows numbers, then just, what is your car? Is it a 36 volt car? Well, then just don't ever let it get below 36 volts. If you ever get close to 36 volts, it's time to take it in. That's what I would do there, because anything below 36 volts is actually further than dead. So now I understand it may go below 36 volts when you step on the gas really hard. It's going to drop. It might go below 36 volts for a little bit, but it should pick back up as you get rolling and stay above 36 volts. What you don't want to see is anything below 36 volts while it's just sitting there and you're not touching anything, because that's puts the batteries in a bad spot where they actually are suffering a little bit of damage when that's happening. So that's cool. You got one that shows numbers though. All right, question number 1. Hi there, our electric club car runs for only a few minutes after it's fully charged. It starts jerking and has a super slow pace like it's about to die. We just replaced the batteries. Any suggestions or advice on how to repair? Thanks so much. It sounds like a battery issue. Really, I know you say you just replaced the batteries. You're talking about new batteries, because the jerking is a sign of bad batteries. The only going for a little ways and then dying, that's a sign of bad batteries. So maybe we need some voltage readings there just to verify, about your batteries. Other than that, it could be your controller's getting too hot, or your controller could be on its way out. But I always like to eliminate those batteries. Especially voltage, check your batteries while it's doing the jerking. Yeah, that's what I had written in my notes here for that question. Yeah, while it's doing the jerking part, check your voltage then. Ricky says, don't forget to let the cart set for a few minutes before reading the gauge. Yeah, if it's one of those that has kind of a delay, or like mine is, the one that I have on my cart, there's no delay, it's instantaneous. So if what you're saying is that, the battery voltage will rise a little bit after you stop using it, then that's true, yeah. Number 2. Oh, Ricky, what's up, man? I forgot to say hey. I have a 90s 2-stroke EZGO, won't charge the batteries. I put a new voltage regulator in, and it still won't charge. Starts and runs just fine. Any idea what I can try next? Well, are you sure it's not charging the battery? I mean, you cranked it up with your voltmeter on the battery and you don't see the volts rise, and you replaced the voltage regulator. If you did, then then the only other thing in the circuit there that could be causing that would be something to do with the starter generator itself. So, but just make sure that it's not charging your battery by doing that. That's how you check it. You put your voltmeter on the battery, take a voltage reading. This is before you crank it. Take note of your voltage, crank the car, and then watch the voltage and see if it goes above what you took note of. It should slowly rise above what you took note of, and should rise up into the mid-14s, to be normal. Number 3. I replaced my acid batteries with lithium on an RX-V about a year ago. Since then, I've experienced complete losses of power while driving, usually at full speed. I have to cross my wire harness to get the brakes to reset. Never happened before I put lithium in it. I installed a battery balancer to make up for the different charge and discharge rates, and it seemed to help for a while, but the car is doing it again. Well, I've talked about this briefly, but I continue to have customers that I talk with on the phone describe to me what's happening with their lithium cart. And one of the things is, like you said that it complete loss of power, and it's usually when you're going full speed. Well, I've had customers describe to me if they hit their gas pedal or their accelerator pedal too hard, if you're too aggressive on it with certain lithium batteries, all of them are different because they all have a different set of rules that the BMS is controlling, the battery management system. They have some type of battery management system in the lithium, and it's like the governor of the battery, and it's watching everything that you're doing, and it's taking note of everything you're doing, and if you do something too aggressive that it doesn't like, it will shut you down. So a lot of these companies, they don't actually explain that to the customers apparently, because they're telling me about it. When I talk to them, they're explaining to me what happens, and they're having to, some customers that have programmable controllers are having to cut their amperage down on their controller, their amp draw, so it doesn't put their lithium into limp mode or complete loss like what you're describing. So that could be what's happening there. Keith, what's up? Keith from Nashville, checking in, mid-90s and humid. Thanks for stopping by, Keith. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's where we're at here today. Going to be mid-90s for the next few days, I believe. But both polarities, it goes in reverse. Tested multiple times. John Beard. Okay, John, did you get what I said about you sometimes when both wheels are raised on an open rear end, the direction that the tires move can be deceiving because of brake drag or different things going on, because it's an open rear end. So in order to make sure, I think I said something to you about, can you stop one wheel and check and see, and then change polarity and make sure? Yes, one wheel was not moving. Okay, and it was in reverse both times. Okay, well, you got me there, John. It must be something to do with your forward and reverse switch then, because that car is definitely mechanically switched from forward to reverse, you know, by your forward and reverse switch. So it's got to be something, but you're doing the motor, you're doing the 12-volt motor test though, so that wouldn't matter, would it? I'll have to do some more research about that, John, but I might be taking that motor apart. They drain quicker. Oh, yeah, you're going straight to motor. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. I might be taking that motor apart, taking a look at it. Something must be shorted in there. Let's see. Kirk says, how does all this heat affect the batteries? Do they drain quicker? In my opinion, they do. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because I have gotten cars, I've bought cars before from all over the United States. I used to order them from a golf cart broker, and they could come from different parts of the United States. And you don't really want to get, there's a couple of reasons that you don't want to get cars from the deep south. You want to get cars as far north as you can. And it's not only is the golf cart usage of the year, you know, the section of the year that the golf cart is being able to be used, not only is the usage shorter in the north, but that cold weather just doesn't seem to hurt them as much. You know, they tend to be preserved, you know, a little bit. Any cars that I've gotten from as far north as I can were in excellent condition. The batteries were in excellent condition, even if they were older batteries. Stuff from the south, you know, gets used a lot, but that heat does seem to put run a toll on them too. And I would bet if you did a test like in distance, I would bet that you would get further distance in cooler weather than you would in hot weather. It might be a very slight bit, but I would bet that you could drive further in cooler weather. Okay. Number 4 is where we were at on the regular questions. I have Yamaha with horn, lights, 2 USB ports. I converted my 48 volt to lithium. I burned out my stepson's DC to DC converter. Which converter do you recommend? Okay, you've got just horn, lights, and 2 USB ports. That's all you got. Well, it just depends on, if that's all you got and that's all you're ever going to have, then you could get one of the smallest voltage reducers, you know, and it would be fine, especially if your lights are LED, especially if they're LED. If you had future plans to get something else like a stereo, or you wanted to have, you know, you wanted to have the option of adding a lot of different 12-volt accessories, then you might want to get a bigger one, but the smallest ones would be fine for just that setup. Greg Elliott, what's up, Greg? Still here to learn all I can. Okay, let me check on Facebook. Oh yeah, Jimmy Stokely, East Tennessee, partly cloudy. This is on Facebook, and 88 degrees. Want to announce my second grandbaby just arrived. Woohoo! 12-ounce baby. Oh, 9 pounds, 12 ounces, baby boy, Lucas Austin. What's up, Lucas Austin? Welcome to the world. Welcome to this world, Lucas Austin. I hope you can make a difference. This is a crazy world you're born in. Thank you, Jimmy, for that announcement. Richard McVeigh, our cart can only hold a charge 3 to 4 miles of use. Is that typical for a 36 volt? Richard McVeigh, not at all, Richard. That's not typical at all. 3 to 4 miles of use. Is that typical for 36 volt? No. No, you've got some kind of issue. You either have a bad battery, or your whole pack needs changing, or your controller is going out, because a controller going out with thermal shutdown feels just like your battery's going dead. So you've got some type of issue going on. That is not typical. You should get 15 miles easy. I've done myself. I've done over 15 miles in a golf cart with a good battery pack. 36-volt TXT, Brandon Potter on Facebook. 36-volt TXT will only run when charger is plugged in. Won't make enough power to move cart without. Bad battery. Yeah, that's definitely going to be it, Brandon. You got to get you a handheld voltmeter and put on each battery. You don't have to disconnect anything. You don't have to disconnect any wires. You take a handheld voltmeter, you got 2 leads, you can put them on positive and negative of each battery and take a note of your voltage. You should have over 6 volts in every battery. You know, that would be a fully charged battery, and that would be, should pull your cart just fine. If you've got one that's 4, 3, 2, or something like that, then there's you a bad battery right there that's causing your problem. Oh, and thanks for stopping in, Brandon, by the way, and Richard on Facebook. Get back over here. S. Harris on YouTube. Since turning it off Monday, it will not go. We have checked all the wiring for loose or bad wiring. Batteries tested and charged. Husband diagnosed heat and AC all day for 30 years. Diagnosis heat and AC all day. Since turning it off Monday, it will not go. Tell me a little bit more about your cart there, S. Harris. Or, you know, what are we talking about there? Because they're all different. They all have different components and all have different common symptoms. Number 5, the regular questions. EZGO 36-volt series with a Curtis controller. When I turn the key on, solenoid clicks but no movement when I press accelerator pedal. All wires clean and tight, good batteries. 36-volt series. Okay. I don't know if that was just that you didn't describe it right or not, but I've got to point out one thing that you said there. You said you turned the key on and the solenoid clicks. Okay, if that is the case, then you need to be looking at the micro switch under the floor mat, because I don't know if you meant to say it that way or not. Because if you turn the key on and the solenoid clicks when you turn the key on, then that micro switch under the floor mat is already in the closed position or open. I don't remember if it's normally open or normally closed, but that you're not supposed, the solenoid is not supposed to click until you touch the accelerator pedal. So I'd want to clear that up first before we went any further on that. Number 6. Brandon Potter says, good excuse to go lithium. Yep. Well, that's why I've got a cart sitting in here right now that needs a battery job, and I haven't, and it don't have any batteries in it. It's because I'm trying to decide if I'm going lithium or not in it. Yep, it's definitely time to do. It's definitely time to make a decision nowadays when you got a cart that needs a battery job. Am I going to spring for lithium or not? You know, I still haven't decided. Luckily, I got another cart I can use while I'm trying to decide. Number 6. I've inherited a 2009 Club Car Precedent and trying to locate the solenoid. I do not see it under the seat or below the batteries. Well, you have to, Club Car Precedents are designed where all the components are in one area, the controller, the solenoid, and the onboard computer. And you got to take that, you got to take that torque screw out. It's by the run toe switch. By the run toe switch, there's a torque screw, and then that whole panel comes up, and everything is mounted on the inside of that panel. And you'll see what I'm talking about once you get that torque screw out and lift that panel up. S. Harris says it usually goes when go pedal is pushed, it makes a little clicking noise, then goes. No clicking now, no go. It has a potentiometer that pushes a rod that tells the speed controller. All right, it pushes a rod. Potentiometer that pushes a rod, the speed controller. Do you know what kind of cart we're talking about there, S. Harris? Joe, let me see if I can take a stab at Joe's last name here. Didinato. Joe Didinato. How did I do there, Joe? I have a 2007 club car, seems to burn oil. No obvious engine leaks. There is a smell from the exhaust, some white smoke. Do you think it just, well, you need go ahead and get a compression test done, Joe. Get a compression test done to see if you're within range. If you're within range, or if not, then it might be time for a rebuild. And there are companies out there. If it's smoking, a tune-up's not going to, it's not going to help you. If it's smoking, I'd do a compression test before I even worried about a tune-up. If it's running fine, you know, if it's besides the smoke, you need to figure out why it's smoking. But a compression test would answer that question for you. Let's see, Kurt says GCG, Golf Cart Garage, should give you the batteries for all the business you generate for them. That's a good idea, Kurt. That's a good idea. They're watching. Lithiums are expensive though. Okay. Number 7 is where we're at. I'm wanting to make, let's see, S. Harris's 92 EZGO Marathon. Okay, well first, I understand now what you were talking about the type of potentiometer and the rod. You got to remember, the main thing you're trying to do is to get your solenoid on that type of electrical system. You're trying to get your solenoid to click every time that the accelerator pedal moves the linkage, and that micro switch. You know that micro switch that is actually, there's a lever on there, and so you can actually activate that micro switch with your hand when you're diagnosing things. So you need to get that to click the solenoid consistently. All right. Once you start getting that, because your cart will never run without the solenoid clicking. So you need to get it to click that solenoid consistently. So, but that's just an on-off micro switch. I mean, so you know you need to check that for continuity of that micro switch. You can do that with a handheld voltmeter. You can check to see if you're getting full battery pack voltage to the small post of your solenoid. That's what makes the solenoid click. You've got to concentrate on that first, making the solenoid click consistently. Big Mike, sorry I'm late. What's up, Tim? What's up, Big Mike? I'm wanting to make my 2011 EZGO EFI go faster to at least keep up with some of the electric cars. I would say that the electric cars are going 25 miles per hour or more. I've watched lots of videos and read lots of stuff, but most don't talk about the fuel-injected golf cart. Big Mike, did you get that right? If I did, I don't know about it yet. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. Okay. The fuel-injected cart going faster, that's what we're talking about. I'm not a big fan of tampering with the governor on gas golf carts. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can do it and everything's fine. But most people, they don't really know what they're doing, you know, when it comes to tampering with the governor. But if you want to, if you do know what you're doing, then go ahead and do it. Yamaha makes it really easy. Yamaha, you just got a little screw, you just screw in. It makes it go a little faster, or if you screw it in a lot, it makes it go a lot faster. But a lot of times what you'll find is that it tends to mess up your slow speed driving. And I like the way that a golf cart can drive slow, especially for like creeping around in the woods or stuff, because that's what I use them for. You know, I'm not always going real fast. If you're always going fast, then it probably wouldn't even bother you. But if you're like me, I like having a full range of RPMs to be able to use, to utilize. So that's why sometimes I would rather, if you wanted to speed up your gas golf cart, I would rather you just put a set of high-speed gears in it and just leave everything else the same. Leave the governor where it's at. The governor won't even know that you put high-speed gears in it, you know, because it's going to still operate exactly the same. It's just that you're in another gear ratio now, so your cart's going to be faster. So, and the clutches do a really good job on a gas golf cart. Those clutches do a real good job of compensating for the, you know, for the torque loss that you would get by riding around in a higher gear ratio. The gas cars compensate for that really well. Reggie Watson Candy, America Tech, I'm late. Hi there, sir. What's up, Reggie Watson? I got your email too. If I remember right, yeah. Didn't you send me an email, Reggie? I think I... Let's see. Number 8. New batteries installed, but the golf cart will not get to top speed. New batteries installed, the golf cart will not get to top speed. Okay. What is your cart? You know, what kind of car are we talking about, and what are you expecting from it, and how fast is it going? A lot of times, everybody needs, you know, most people have a smartphone, you know, by now. So we've talked about this a little bit, those speedometer apps. You know, you can get a speedometer app and put on your phone for free. And those things are pretty accurate. They work really well. So that way you get a real good baseline of how fast your cart actually is, and then we can go from there. Let's see, yes, Harris says, are you saying check the potentiometer by hand with a voltmeter? What voltage am I looking for? No, on the potentiometer, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying check that micro switch. There's a micro switch that is activated when you touch your accelerator pedal. Check that micro switch with a you're not looking for voltage on the micro switch. You want to do a continuity test. You're actually just going to check for on-off operation of that micro switch. Now, on the potentiometer itself, in your case, that's a 0 to 5K potentiometer. If you were to test that potentiometer, you would just be looking for ohms, 0 to 5,000 ohms. But that's not going to be what you need to concentrate on there. You need to concentrate on that micro switch and making the solenoid click. Okay. Okay. Number 9 is where we're at, I believe. I have an electric EZGO golf cart. I just replaced the solenoid, and the cart was malfunctioning. After replacement, the cart ran great. Now I press on the pedal and nothing happens. No click, nothing. I kick the pedal ahead from the bottom a few times and it clicks and then goes. It's fine then as long as I leave it in drive. When I shut it off and back, the same thing happens. Looks like you might have some damage in your accelerator, the ITS area, which is under the floor mat, because there's where a micro switch is under there, and that accelerator pedal is connected to that micro switch. So if you're jamming the accelerator pedal in certain positions or having to pull it back, like you said, you may have a malfunctioning micro switch, or there may be something wrong inside that box. So you need to take your floor mat up and take that lid off and look inside there and see what's going on. You'll see how it works. As soon as you open the lid and press your accelerator pedal, you'll see how the rod goes through a tunnel and it activates the micro switch, and then when it releases, it deactivates the micro switch. You'll see how it works, and if there's something wrong there, it will be obvious to you. Like I've seen them with a bent arm, I've seen them just broke. Yeah, Reggie, you sent me the email. Yeah, I thought that was you. Charles Ferguson. What's up, Charles Ferguson? Just purchased a 2011 PDS. The frame is eaten into on both sides. If it wasn't for the top on it, I believe it would fold double. What do your TXT frames would fit a 2011? TXT is going to be pretty much any TXT would fit a 2011. If I'm not mistaken there. 2011, I don't think there was any changes in a TXT. And if you're sure it's a TXT, because an RXV is completely different. And they made RXVs in 2008. So I think it's going to be fine. Anything that's a TXT. Where's the micro switch located? You got to take up your floor mat. You have to remove your floor mat. It's under the floor mat. You access it from the top of your golf cart. Okay, S. Harris, I'm sorry. I'm getting you mixed up with another guy. You're the one with the 92 EZGO Marathon. Follow your accelerator pedal linkages. Open the seat and press the accelerator pedal and watch for movement, in your accelerator pedal linkages. Watch for movement, and those linkages are going to go up and down. They go to a micro switch, and I mean it's not really micro. It's about the size of a matchbox. Actually, it's a pretty big micro switch. As far as micro switches go, it's a large one. And your accelerator pedal activates it as you press it. And you'll see it activates a lever, or it pushes on a lever and clicks it. Randy Rizzo. What's up, Randy Rizzo? Hi, Tim in Golf Cart World. Hello to you, Randy. Let me go over here. Envy Nature Girl, are you in the room? Let's see. I added one of those speedometer apps to my phone, and I'm showing only 11 miles per hour. Is that as fast as it should go, or should I check my V-Glide to make sure it's giving me all it's got? That's borderline slow, Kurt. I'd check the V-Glide, make sure it's going all the way to the top contact. It's pretty easy to do. You may have to remove a battery in order to do that. Some people find it difficult to get that lid off enough and actually see the arm go up to the top contact. But I would check it for sure at 11. What year is your cart, Kurt? What is your cart? I don't remember. Hmm. 88. Oh, okay. Yeah, that may be normal for an 88. Golf carts were pretty slow back then, so that may be normal. But yeah, check your V-Glide all the way to the top contact. Do you have the 5 solenoid system, Kurt? You got 5 solenoids in an 88? Number 10. It's the last scheduled question. Okay, Kurt, what I would do then, you need to make sure, before I get to number 10, you need to make sure that you're getting all 5 clicks, okay, on your solenoids. Because the last one is your top speed solenoid. So normal operation should be this on your cart. You turn the key on, nothing happens. Put it in gear, nothing happens. You touch the accelerator pedal just a little bit, you should hear 1 click, but car should not move on the first click. That's your main solenoid. Okay, if it does move on the first click, then your main solenoid is welded shut, and you're going straight to your speed control solenoid, which would be the first one in line there. So It should click, nothing move on the first click. Push it a little bit more, and then the second click happens, and then your cart starts moving a little bit. Then you push a little bit more, third click happens, and cart moves a little faster. Fourth click happens, and then fifth click happens. So you've got V-Glide with the 5 solenoid system. Yeah. So you could have your last solenoid could be not working, is what I'm saying, and could cause your top end to be a little bit slower. So you need to make sure that your last solenoid is being activated. One other thing you can do too, you can put a voltmeter. If you have something, you're going to need alligator clip leads for this. I know not everybody has alligator clip leads, but you're going to need alligator clip leads for this one. You're going to put your voltmeter on the 2 small posts of the last solenoid. It only clicks once, then goes. But see, you just don't hear all those other clicks because they're actually happening. If you've got 5 solenoids, they're actually clicking as you press the accelerator pedal. The further you press down, the solenoids click. So you need to check that last solenoid and make sure that it's clicking under full throttle by putting your alligator clip leads on the 2 small posts and then having your voltmeter up in your seat with you and start going in the cart. You should see nothing on the last solenoid while you're starting to roll. You should only see when you go to full throttle, you should see full battery pack voltage on that last solenoid on the 2 small posts. That assures you that you've got power to that last solenoid, even if that tells you that it's being activated. Okay, this is just before it connects to the speed controller. What about checking the speed controller? What about the accelerator pedal and testing it? All the wiring and batteries testing look good. Okay, see, that's what I was trying to say earlier, Harris. What you need to concentrate on is the solenoid clicking, because nothing's going to work if you don't get the solenoid to click. So that's the order you have to take it in. If your solenoid clicks, then you've already eliminated half your electrical system. You've already eliminated half the problems. That's why I always ask, does the solenoid click? Because you've eliminated the first half of everything else, because the only thing behind the solenoid is controller and motor, and they're not going to cause the solenoid to click, or at least in your case, in that year car, it has nothing to do with the solenoid clicking. So that's why you have to get that solenoid to click, or you concentrate on that first. Don't worry about the speed controller until you get the solenoid to consistently click. Twisted Mopar, hello everyone. What's up, Twisted Mopar? All right. NV Nature Girl, you're not in the room. Well, the reason that I asked is because it is time for Let's See Some Carts. Today's featured cart is NV Nature Girl. It's her and her husband, Travis Lee, are in here usually, but they're not here today. But that's the only cart that I have to feature today, so I don't have any more pictures with me. So I've got to do it. I've got to show it, and you're not here to see it. But I'll show it again the next time you're here too. I tell you, that's what I'll do. I'll leave it in here until you show up. That way you can see it yourself. But I'm fixing to put it on right now. This is Lauren. NV Nature Girl's name is Lauren, and this is her cart. You ready for this? Bam! She has a gym car. See that? That's a gym car. I don't know if everybody's familiar with those or not, but she has a gym car. This is a picture of Lauren under her gym car installing underbody lights, as you can see, if you can see in the picture up to the right. That's with them installed. So she gets down and does her own cart work apparently. So that's good. That's a gym car. There's Lauren. She's working on her car. Let's see, Twisted Mopar. How much whine should you hear from your battery power cart? Does excess noise mean anything? It can, Twisted Mopar. It can mean something. Like I said, that's awesome. The micro switch is going to be somewhere close to the controller. As Harris, it's going to be somewhere close to the controller. Unless you have ITS. I just didn't think they had ITS in cars, and EZGO's that old. But ITS has got a micro switch also. It's a 92 Marathon. Okay, I don't think you have ITS in a Marathon. You've got 0 to 5K potentiometer, so you've got the micro switch, yeah. So I got it before you reminded me. Yeah, those gym cars are pretty cool. They're actually front-wheel drive too. They're front-wheel drive. It's a difficult battery job. I haven't really had to repair that many, but I've done some battery jobs on them, and it's 72 volt. So it's got 6 12s in there. 6 12s in there, big 12s. So it's if you're running lead acid. And so they're hard to get to, very, very heavy. So it's a difficult battery job. All right, so we did that. I'll run some social media links one more time, just so you can see those. And you can follow us on those if you want. If you want to just follow us on Facebook and YouTube, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And we will get to anybody interested in the Golf Cart Garage hats. I have a lot of people asking me about the hats. There they are right there. In the description, there's some links that'll take you straight to them. We do give them away here occasionally, but if you can't wait, then you can go straight to Golf Cart Garage using the links below to take you straight to which color you want. And okay. Mike says holy heavy. Yeah, that's because they're not small 12s either. They're pretty big 12s. So yeah, it's a heavy ride. They ride good though. I mean, they're designed for street. They're not for off-road at all, really. So they ride good. On asphalt for what they're designed for. Let's see. Greg says if GCG won't give you batteries, use Tim's coupon code. Oh, I will. There ain't no doubt about it. In fact, it's this one right here. I will be using that if I have to order the batteries for sure. Get 5% off any parts you order at Golf Cart Garage if you use the coupon code TIM12, TIM12, TIM12 at checkout. This one expires on July the 28th. Get 5% off any parts you order at golfcartgarage.com at checkout. Okay, looks like we're going to get out of here at a decent time today. We're not going to go over. I'm just checking on Facebook there to make sure everything's good. All right, we showed Lauren's card. I'll keep it in there so Lauren can see it again. Doesn't have any continuity. Do I order a new solenoid or micro switch? Well, if you find out that the micro switch does not have continuity, then you order a new micro switch, because you've got to get the power to the solenoid. Without the micro switch, the solenoid is never going to activate. Randy Rizzo, you didn't do question 10. Oh, you're right, I didn't. Thank you, Randy. I did not. Okay, this is from Blake. 2003 Club Car, 48 volt. I have 6 8-volt Trojans. Those batteries are between 4 and 6 years old. After charging the cart, I went to the lake and out driving it, and within 40 yards there was a loud pop under the seat. I took a look and saw where one of the battery caps was popped open and fumes coming out. I later used a multimeter. Battery in question tests 6.2 volts. I found a cheap replacement and charged it up, and seems that everything else is fine. But I've lost some power on the uphill. I guess my question is, is it cheaper to buy a 36-volt motor and run out of my current batteries? And will that work? Thank you for your time, and again, I really like your channel. Okay, 2003 Club Car 48 volt. He wants to know if he can put a 36-volt motor in it. Okay, let's just answer that question first. Sounds like you blew up a battery, you know, which has happened. It's never happened to me, but it has happened to a lot of people. They luckily, you know, they usually have the seat on the golf cart, they're sitting on it, but it blows a battery up underneath them. I mean, it makes my skin crawl thinking about it, because that could be really dangerous. But anyway, because you got acid and everything going on there, sounds like you popped a battery. You blew up one battery, or you blew up one cell. So let's answer the question about the 36-volt motor. If that is a series cart, if it's not a shunt wound cart or a separately excited cart, if it does not have a run tow switch, that means it's a series cart. If it does not have a run tow switch, then you could put a 36-volt Club Car motor in there if you wanted to, and it would be a performance upgrade. But I would be willing to bet that you have a battery issue, because you blew up, you already popped one, and now you're complaining, you replaced it, and now you're complaining of weak performance. You very well may have popped another one. You need to keep looking. There may be another one that's testing low or about to go. Okay, Big Mike says, thanks, Tim. See you later. No problem, Big Mike. S. Harris said, I think I've got it. Thanks. You have been very patient. Well, S. Harris, I do my best to try to help people. I actually enjoy helping people because it's something I have a little experience in. So thank you for saying that, though. All right, I will see everybody on, what happened to my TV? Look at that. Huh. All right, I'll see everybody later. Can I download a manual for this from your company? S. Harris, why don't you send me an email? I'll type my email in here, and I'll see if I can get you a wiring diagram. Let me see. There. I'll see everybody next week. I'm off tomorrow, and I will see you on Tuesday. The garage is now closed. Thanks everybody for coming.